Check, check. There we go. Guys, the gremlins are in the machines tonight. I'm going to let you know right now, the gremlins are in the machines. This is the third mic I had to plug in to get it to work. So, but it's working, I believe. I know the quality will not be that good because I'm on a backup mic. I'm on a little $20 gamer mic. But who cares? I mean, you know, to be honest, I'm very tired. It's Friday night. Oh, and look, the camera's locked up too. I love that. Yeah, we'll see if there we go. We reset the camera. Now we've got a working camera and we've got a working microphone at the same time. That's amazing. All right, so now let's take a look at what we got. We're getting reports that there is some protesting in LA, and so I found a couple of channels that are carrying some of the upright streams, and I've put them there for you in the upper center and the lower right. And the other two screens there are one's a composite screen and one is Tel Aviv. They're all from Israel, and we're monitoring what's going on there as well. And tonight we also have Stormchasers out. And we are in Jamestown right here. We're looking at a severe thunderstorm warning that is listed as considerable. Yep, this is Jamestown, North Dakota. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And winds are moving at 70 miles an hour. Hail is likely, and they just reissued an updated warning. We've got storm chasers all over the place. So let's start stacking them up here so you guys can see them. I'm going to take this. I can't use split mode and do the cameras at the same time. So we'll just do the split mode. We'll do split mode later. Let's do the cameras for now. Some great shots from our storm chasers of this storm complex here. Wow, look at these shots coming in. Some amazing shots from our storm chasers. There we go, guys. There's your storm, and there's your storm chasers. They're all below it, looking up at it from the south. And you can see all the shots there. Lots of really good shots coming in now from all over the place. Look at that, man. That's a great shot there, lower center. All right, so there we go. There's our little trip around the world. We're going to be doing a news roundup here in just a minute. I've already got all that set to go. While we continue to watch what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in LA for the riots, also Times Square up there in that little sliver I got there, just so we can kind of keep an eye if there's anything going on in Times Square. And so there you go. There's all your different sights and sounds around the world tonight as we look around and see what's going on. And I just noticed there is another storm chaser here that is literally, there's so many of them I couldn't see him. And he's got a great shot too. So what I'm going to do is what I call a little scrunchy-roo here, where I'm actually just going to kind of overlap these a little bit so we can keep an eye on everybody. There we go. We've got 6 storm chasers out right now. Let's go ahead and get this in motion, and let's watch this storm as it comes up, moving southwest to northeast at this point. And I just looked at it on the radial velocity, and it is showing a little bit of a rotation here. You can see here on this rotation that we've got winds moving around this thing. You can see because the green is moving one way and the red is moving the opposite direction, and where those two colors come together, you generally have some rotation. Now, I want you to notice up here, we have the yellow circle. That's higher than last night. Remember, the brown circle is what we were looking at last night. We're up a level tonight. This is a level 3 out of 5 for bad weather tonight. And you can see here that anything inside this yellow box with the white hash marks has a tornado threat, a strong wind threat overnight tonight, and we're going to have to watch all this. It's going to go right through Fargo, and also I'm trying to see, is there any other big Grand Forks, I guess, looking for bigger towns that people would know. Wow, those are some neat shots coming in from the Stormchasers. Look at that. They're getting a great shot of this storm. Look at this. They're looking right up the tailpipe of this storm. And look at that. 6 storm chasers right now. 6 storm chasers chasing this thing, and we're bringing it to you live. Look at that. We've got a hell of a supercell here. There's the progression as it moves southwest to northeast. And it's just basically got really strong as it was going over the top of Jamestown. Jamestown might have seen some damage from this. We don't have any reports of a funnel yet. But man, look at that lowering. It could come down any time. So we're definitely watching that. I'm glad I'm on right now, because this is a hell of a deal here. We've got a hell of a shot coming in for you guys on from our storm chasers here. Let's see if I can make this a little easier here. There we go. Get you a little more screen space. It's all about the real estate when it comes to the screen. All right, so again, upper right, right center, and upper right, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. We're looking at areas in Israel. They are facing the threat of bombing overnight. They're in the wee hours of the morning over there right now. The lower right and the upper center are split screens of what's going on in Los Angeles, and apparently there is an active peaceful protest going on right now. I've not seen anything but peaceful protesting. It looks like they're starting to block roads and stuff, so it's starting to get a little more hairy there. So we're kind of watching that in all these little split screens that we got here. I got a couple of guys putting out split screens, and so just like they carry mine sometimes, I carry theirs sometimes. It's a great way to bring you guys a lot of information in a short period of time, in a short space, short amount of space on the screen. So there we go. All right. I know there's a lot going on here, but this is it. The sights and sounds around the world. And man, that is looking ominous, those clouds. I'm going to have some time this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and set this up so I want you guys to see the other side of the studio. So probably one day, one of the next few days, I'll do it with the camera over here so you guys can see what the other side, or at least have a camera to where I can put it on. I want to show you guys the rest of the studio. I don't want you to think I just got all my crap stacked on one side of the room. This is actually a full studio in the round with 4 full workstations. And right now, we've got 8 computers up in here right now. Wow. That's one hell of a lowering there. Look at that. They are right underneath this thing. If it drops a tornado, guys, we are going to get a great shot of it from 6 different cameras. Look at this. They're all grouped up. There's actually 7 of them, and I only have 6 up, so I'm wondering who I'm missing here. Is it him? No, I think I had him. No, that's the one I don't have right there. So let me move this around here. And I'll stack him in here. We'll do it that way. Man, we have got a lot of storm chasers on this one. Holy crap. I don't know that I've had this many on one storm in a while. This is amazing that we are getting. Look at the different shots we're getting of this storm. Okay, I got to pull my chat room. I'm still trying to get things up here. Let me get my chat room up so I can say hi to everybody. I apologize for the crappy sound quality. I'm using a backup microphone tonight. The gremlins are in the machines. Yes, they are. They're in the machines. All right, let's go up here. Is there more protests? The only thing I've heard so far is LA, and I've got those screens up for you there, what we have. I'm here. I had sound issues, and I finally got it resolved without having to restart the computer in the stream. Let's see. Yeah, I had an issue with the mic, but it's all fixed now. I know my sound quality is probably not great right now, but it is what it is. You want me to wear a tie? I know who that's in reference to. I know exactly who that's in reference to. He puts a lot of work in, that guy. Yeah. Oh wow, that worked out really good. The camera just crashed. Oh my God, I've never had it do that before. Wow. Okay, it's trying to come back up. Come on, baby. There it is. Hey, my camera came back up. The gremlins are in the machines tonight. They're, to quote a scientist I once knew, shit's doing stuff I don't get. All right, there we go. Look at this lowering that we're watching, guys. This is amazing. We've got all kinds of storm chasers chasing this thing right now, and we are watching one hell of a show right now with this lowering on this storm. We are in North Jamestown. Where the hell is this? This is a destructive, this is being listed now as a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. This is literally the highest it gets before we get into a tornado warning. Why they have not issued one, I don't know. But maybe it's because we've got eyes on this thing and we can actually see that it hasn't produced anything yet. Although if you look in the upper left screen, very suspicious of that rotating there in the middle of the screen. That's what it'll look like. It'll just look like some little clouds moving around in a circle, and then all of a sudden you got a funnel coming down. So there you go. There's your two warnings right there. And this is in North Dakota. It's in Bismarck, North Dakota. The National Weather Service in Bismarck, North Dakota has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Stutsman County. That's Stutsman County. I'm going to look Stutsman County, North Dakota. I know they don't have a scanner feed, but I'm going to look. Okay, so let's add feed, United States. Refresh the page because it's doing stuff it ain't supposed to do. Actions, add feeds, United States. And I believe that's North Dakota, ND, North Dakota. Stutsman County. Wow, okay, we do have, I got 3 fire departments. Actually, I got the same one twice. Let's see what we got here. All right, you are monitoring scanners live. Let me, I do have to do one thing here so you guys can hear it. Let me do that real quick. I have to change my browser to send audio to my audio cable input A. Let's see here. Guys, you know, I always thought the video was the hard part, but when you get into computers and stuff, sometimes the audio is the hard part. It's kind of crazy how it works. Let me see what my monitor is on. think that's going to work either. See if I can hear anything on here. Am I monitoring? I don't think. Monitor and output. And speakers is on this one. I don't think this thing is working. Something is not working right. I don't know if everything should. I always restart the computer right in there. Yeah, I always restart the computer before the stream. That's why I don't really understand what's going on here. Let's pull the sound settings back up again. The problem now is you guys can hear it, but I can't. So it kind of. I think I am hearing it, actually. I think it's just nothing on there right now. Yeah, there's just nothing on there right now. But we are monitoring, guys. That's what that hiss is in the background. Just let it go. We are monitoring Jamestown fire and Stutzman County fire. And that's right where this storm is right now. So we are monitoring the fire departments in that area as we go into this here. Well, it looks like we lost one feed. You can see all 7 of your Stormchasers there, and there you can kind of see the roads. They're trying. The roads they have is what they have. That's the problem with chasing storms. Storms go off in the direction they want to go off in, but the roads don't necessarily follow the storm. There's a very suspicious lowering that I'm seeing now on 2 different monitors. Yeah, he's got him. They've got it centered there. I don't think that's what we think it is, but let's not. I don't know. Wow, it's very pronounced. I don't think that's what we think it is. I think that's, you get these lowerings that kind of like, I call them fakers because they fake like it's a tornado. All right, let us see what's going on in the chat room. Rain up here in Florida early. Yeah, we had rain here. We're still getting rain down south of Naples and in the 10,000 Island areas. And we're in a special pattern right now where we could get a resurgence of rain after dark. But I'm not seeing much right now in the Southwest Florida area. It looks like it's almost over unless we do get some more pop-up in a little while. Carl, I'm not. The only protests we are seeing are the ones I'm showing you. I believe they are live. Upper center, lower right, I believe those are live, all in Los Angeles, except the Times Square. The one with all the taxi cabs, that's Times Square. We're just kind of keeping an eye on that. And then the upper right, center right are both Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, Israel, looking for missiles coming in there. And, of course, we've got all kinds of storm chasers out chasing this storm right here. In North Dakota, of all places. Sorry. Yeah, if this drops a tornado, it could get really bad. There's a lot of energy in this storm, and it is hooking. I want you guys to notice, anytime you have a hurricane, you're going to get this J-hook right here. And I do see where it's wanting to J-hook. It's wanting to. Let's take a look at the high-res velocity, what we call the radial velocity, and look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have the tower sites up here. You've got a couplet, a very nice couplet. The red winds are moving away from the tower site. The green winds are moving towards the tower site. So right here we have an interface of very strong winds right there. And they're coming together. Normally when the light green and the lighter red start to touch each other, we start to have a funnel come down. That's where we're at right now. This thing is a fairly well-defined couplet, but yet not perfect. But we do see, if you notice right there, we do have bright red and bright green touching each other. There is enough energy and rotation in this thing, I think, to support to support it dropping a funnel down. So we definitely have to watch that, because I think that I think it's possible. I really do. Let me see. Let me put this over here, and oh, that's not even working. That's great. I don't have camera control, so it's a little overwashed. There's nothing I can really do about that. I don't know. It's kind of screwed up right now. Whatever. All right. So anyway, I'm just going to keep right on going, because this is some great Stormchaser coverage right here. We're seeing Stormchasers literally right in the path of this thing. We got 8 Stormchasers right now. 8. There's still one of these guys I don't have yet. Nope, that's that guy. I've got him. And I got him. Let's see who I don't have. I'm trying to figure out who I don't have. I got him. I think, yep, I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one we don't have, I think. No. This one. He's the furthest away. Look at that, guys. We've got a full house. We literally have a full house right now. I've got 8 Stormchasers, 8 active Stormchasers on this storm right now. And you can see them all right there. There's one that's tucked in behind another one, but you can see where they're all at. This thing is rotating like crazy. It's dropping down. We're getting lowerings, and I think we're going to have a tornado here. If
Attention Jamestown Fire Department. From LAC, please be aware of a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Stutsman County until 9:30 p.m. Central. At 8:25 p.m. Central, a severe thunderstorm is located 9 miles north of Judd, or 18 miles southwest of Jamestown, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Hazards include golf ball size hail. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Locations impacted include Jamestown, Ypsilanti, Sydney, and Milliken. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 3 a.m. Central for southeastern North Dakota. Please acknowledge page.
There we go. There's your tornado warning. There it is right there. Just got issued. Tornado warning. This is a radar indicated tornado. Just got issued right now. Here's the information on it. East Central Stutsman County and northeastern North Dakota. It's effective until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and this is capable of producing a tornado. Was located near Spirit Wood, or 8 miles northeast of Jamestown, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. There we go. We've got one. Let's continue to watch here. We've got to see what it's trying to drop a tornado right now. We are watching Genesis on 8 screens. I don't know that I've ever had this many Stormchasers looking at the same thing before. This is almost unprecedented. Probably not, but at least for me it is. This is exciting because this is happening right now. We're literally watching this in real time, and you're seeing the same cloud deck from all these different angles. Look at all these Stormchasers. This is freaking awesome, dude. I got to tell you, this is virtual storm chasing right here. This is how it's done. As a matter of fact, for a few minutes here, let's go ahead and switch over to Radar Omega on the full screen. Just give me a second to line this up, and I'm going to go ahead and put the Radar Omega up on the full screen. Just give me a second. There's not a lot going on the other screens, so I'm going to start going back and forth from this to the full screen. So let's, if I can get back to it here. There we go. There we go. Another tornado warning. That siren sound is tornado warnings. And that's it. They issued another tornado warning out ahead of this one. They've issued 2 back-to-back tornado warnings on this. Okay, so they're expecting this to drop a tornado. They went ahead and preemptively issued another one out ahead of it. Let's take a peek and see. I want to go back and take a peek and see what it looks like on the high-res reflectivity. There's your J-hook. There it is, hookity-hook right there. You know, it couldn't be more clear. There's your J-hook. Your tornado's sitting right here. And that's what they're watching. And notice they're trying to stay out in front of this thing. A lot of them are continuing to move. They're trying to make sure they don't let this thing get too far out in front of them. And then when we go back over to the high-res radio velocity, this tells us the speed that the rain is moving in the clouds. It's an amazing technology. Before this, all you had to look for was a J-hook. With this now, we have a tool that's a lot more accurate than just looking for a J-hook on radar. Damn, look at that. One of the guys is right underneath it. Is this amazing or what? We're also listening to Jamestown City Fire and also Stutzman County Fire, both in the path of this thing. And I expect them to put out this tornado warning any second now. The Broadcastify runs about, it's buffered out about 30 seconds to a minute. I would expect in the next minute or so we'll hear this tornado warning go out on public safety radio up there. But we are monitoring the fire departments up in that area. And there is definitely a couplet there. You can see the wrapping motion of it. It's right there. You got a tornado. It just hasn't poked itself down yet. It's hiding. Where are you at, tornado? Here we go.
Attention Jamestown Fire Department from Law Enforcement Center. Be aware there's a tornado warning now in effect for East Central Stutzman County until 9 p.m. Central. At 8:31 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Spiritwood, 8 miles northeast of Jamestown, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Hazards include tornado and hail up to 3 inches in diameter from radar-indicated rotation. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Spiritwood around 8:35 p.m. Central. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you're outdoors, in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Please acknowledge.
Stutzman LEC page has been received.
Carl, I appreciate that, Carl. I do work in radio on air. I produce the top-rated local radio show here on terrestrial radio. So yeah, I do a lot of that.
Fire call. This is a page for Jamestown Rural Fire for a tornado warning in East Central Stutzman County. A thunderstorm capable of producing tornado was located near Spiritwood, or 8 miles northeast of Jamestown, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. Hazards include tornado and hail up to 3 inches in diameter. This storm will be near Spiritwood around 8:35. Again, this is a tornado warning for East Central Stutzman County. At 8:31, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Spirit Wood, or 8 miles northeast of Jamestown, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. Tornado and hail up to 3 inches in diameter are the hazards. This dangerous storm will be near Spirit Wood around 8:35 p.m. Please acknowledge.
Okay, I'm looking at
10-4.
we have had solar flares yesterday and today. We had a as you guys know, today is the summer solstice, and I'm going to get into that later in the broadcast, but we have had solar flares. The planet is getting hit by these waves of energy, and there has been some blackouts of HF across the planet. The deepest blackouts occurred on June 15th, back on 15th, but it's been kind of steady and going on. We just had the latest one of these blackouts, an X1.9 flare, just happened hours ago, 6 or 8 hours ago, and we're still seeing some effects from that globally. So it has been affecting HF radio. And let's see here.
Fire call, fire call, fire call. This is a page for Closey Fire advising of a tornado warning for east central Sussman County until 9 p.m. At 8:31.
There, they just issued another one for the area just south of the guys there. Look at that, another area of rotation starting up.
Moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. Hazards are tornado and hail up to 3 inches in diameter. Again, east central Sussman County until 9 p.m. At 8:31 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Spirit Wood, or 8 miles northeast of Jamestown, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. Hazards are tornado and hail up to 3 inches in diameter. This storm will be near Spirit Wood around 8:35 p.m. Please ignore.
There you go. So we have a second storm now forming up south of that one, southwest of that one, and it's moving off into the northeast as well. So that shows us we've got some ripe energy here. Notice this is right in the middle of the area that NOAA has identified as significant for this evening. Also, we have another one back here west of Bismarck, another tornado warning. Wow, that is some very strong winds.
About a tornado warning for east central Sussman County at 9 until 9 p.m. At 8:31 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado.
Yeah, I can see why they issued that one.
8 miles northeast of Jamestown, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. Hazards are tornado and hail up to 3 inches in diameter. This storm will be near Spirit Wood around 8:35 p.m. Again, this is to let you know of a tornado warning for east central Sussman County until 9 p.m.
HF should be improving. The geomagnetic field has calmed way down. It's a K1 right now. It's listed as very quiet. So I think tonight should be better for HF than the last couple of nights, would be my guess. All right, so we've got 3 potential tornadoes here that we're watching in this zone. You can see this big zone that covers the better part of 2 states here. We're zooming back into this one here that we're watching with our Stormchasers. And let me get back up here to the closer radar. We can get in there and look. And there, that couplet is still there. If this thing doesn't drop something soon, we're going to run out of daylight. This area here is going to see sunset in the next 30 minutes. Now, I will tell you something else. If you're into storm chasing and storm watching like I am, one of the really cool things is the fact that as the sun begins to set, big storms and big clouds generally lead to wonderful and colorful sunsets. Sometimes the shots we get from these storm chasers at sunset looking through the storm is some of the most amazing storm photography you'll see. It's just absolutely amazing. I love to see it, and it's really cool. And so we might see some of that coming up here pretty soon. as well. They're scanning the base of this storm, looking for a lowering, looking for anything that looks suspicious. They keep coming back on that one wisp that keeps coming down there. But again, I don't know. That does look suspicious every time it happens, but I think that's just clouds lowering down there. But that's what it looks like when it gets started, and then you realize, hey, that's spinning faster and faster. You also want to look along the ground as well. You will see a lot of times dirt and debris and vegetation getting kicked up by the bottom of the tornado before you actually see the connecting funnel. And so you want to keep an eye out for that. This is live continuing coverage of the events around this wonderful planet called Earth. This is Starship Adventures, where each evening I take you on a little ride around the country and around the world to see what's going on, and sometimes around the solar system if I can swing it. And we are monitoring solar activity tonight. We are also monitoring some improving conditions on HF radio for the ham radio guys. We're monitoring the skies over Tel Aviv and Jerusalem for missile attacks continuing from Iran. And we're also waiting for developments on what's going to happen there, both with the negotiations and politically, as well as what's going to happen physically with the dropping of the bombs. Then in the bottom right and the center top, we have a live protest, a demonstration going on right now somewhere in LA. I'm still trying to get more info on this. But this is going on. I got 4 or 5 different live views coming in of this. We're relatively sure this is actually happening right now, and it's not just 3 spoof videos that happen to be wound up to the same spot. I do believe we're watching live video there. And then there's a little sliver of Times Square up there too. And then the lower left is Radar Omega, where I have up right now 8 storm chasers that are watching a storm that's trying its damnedest right now to drop a tornado, and it's getting really close. You can see it forming right in front of you. Guys, this is what they call Genesis. And no, not that thing from Star Trek 2. This is actually what they call Genesis. It's the formation of the beginning of it, right when it starts making itself. And that's what we're watching right now is Tornado Genesis. We're seeing a lowering here below the cloud deck, and it looks very suspicious. And the National Hurricane Center is issuing active severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings right now on this cell. And also we are seeing very strong winds and an active couplet. Look how strong this couplet is getting. When the green turns to blue and white, those are very strong winds. Those are 50 to 100 mile an hour winds when you get into those colors. And the same thing with the red. When you get into the really bright red, it'll eventually turn orange and yellow. When you start seeing that, very strong. There is definitely, it is trying to produce a tornado. Now, whether it produces it before this storm gets away from these guys, the storm has caught up with them. There's a couple of guys out here on I-96 trying to stay out ahead of it. What they're probably doing, these guys here, no, they might have got off the interstate. They might be coming up for an intercept here, but what you want to try to do is some of them's going to try to stay out ahead of this thing, while others will pull over and let it go by and then try to catch back up with it. They do have an interstate that's kind of going in the right direction, not quite, but because the storms are heading up in this direction. They're heading up into the northeast like this. The interstate's heading mostly east, so that's only going to help them for a short time. And the roads generally run north and south, east and west. This is a problem. Roads run generally in especially areas of the country out west where there's not a lot of population. The roads will run east and west, north and south, and your storms will run southeast to north, southwest to northeast usually, or they'll run northwest to southeast, and the storms will not follow any of the roads. And so it makes it really, really difficult. All right, let me check the chat and get caught up here. Pull up the bottom screen, which I think that was a few minutes ago. I'm sorry I missed that when it was happening. My bad. Yeah, keep your hands and feet inside the starship until the starship has made a full and complete stop. I want to say hi to Ding 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 and Victor and some of my regulars coming in. Junior, thank you for being here. D-Glass, Brian, lots of folks coming in tonight. I really appreciate that. I am responsive to the chat room, but you have to remember I'm directing, producing, and hosting, so it requires me to have a split attention span. Man, I just love these views that we're getting. This one down here is still not it's still looking like it's trying to form. Let's pull up a different radar and see if we can see anything better on this one. I mean, it does look like it's trying to couple up there, but it's this one up here. Even this further away radar site sees that couplet, no problem. Look at that. It sees it. And if we go up here to the Mayville tower site, it's pretty clear. The little X's are lightning. Lightning is white, is new. Yellow is a little older. Orange, more old. Red, older. And then burgundy is the oldest. Lightning holds for like 20 minutes on here, so that kind of tells you how many lightning strikes you have. Anything that's white is in the last 2 or 3 minutes. I love Radar Omega. It also tells us neat things like this county back here has 592 people without electricity, probably back here in Jamestown from when that thing was strengthening going through Jamestown. But Radar Omega, it allows us to actually zoom in, like here in Carson, and see how many people are without electricity. And of course I can't do it because there's other warnings in the way. Oh well. Anyway, it allows me to go and check out how many people are without electricity once all the regular warnings go away. It can only do too many overlays, you know, so many overlays. All right, so here we go. We're back in here. This is we got like I'm going to show you guys what I'm seeing here. Okay, I'm seeing 2 couplets. All right, I see one here for sure. I mean, you got one here for sure. And then now I'm seeing what looks like another one here. So, I mean, we could have sisters here. We could have 2 separate funnels operating separately of each other inside the same supercell. That's always possible. There we go. We've got our tornado. We've got our first signs of a tornado. Lower right screen. I'm going to endeavor to figure out which of my guys this is. Just give me a second here and let me scroll through these guys until I find the one that's got the funnel, and we'll get him up full screen. Unfortunately, this is how I have to do it. What happened? Did it go away? I think it went away. Yep, it did. It zipped back up. But you can see that it came down. You saw it. There's so many of them here, I can't figure out who is who. They're literally on top of each other. Wow, that was really cool. All right, we'll have another one here, I'm sure, here in just a minute, because that thing is really trying to pop it down. And we're going to get sunset, which will give us some really good shots. unfortunately, the sunset also kind of spells the end of this. Wow, look at the couplet, guys. Look at that couplet. You have orange and you've got light green, right, literally all chopped up left and right of each other there. That is definitely tornadic right there. And so I'm having a hard time believing that this thing doesn't put something down on the ground by now. Wow, that's a hell of a couplet right there. And these guys are all right in the middle of this thing. There was some lightning there. Uh-oh. I think our guys just bailed out there on the one. All right, so... all right, again, we are in North Dakota, guys. North Dakota, believe it or not. Chasing what is a tornado that has not made it down to the ground yet. But there is definitely a large rotation going on within this supercell. There it is, I think. There it is. There it is, and it's coming in as a wedge already. There it is, guys, it's a wedge. We got a wedge. I've got it on 2 different screens, 3 screens now. We've got a wedge. Look at that. Oh my God, that's a big one. That's a goddamn wedge. Look at that thing. It's that started out as a freaking F2 or an F3 right there. Holy shit. I knew this was going to happen. This thing had all the ingredients of a huge storm. Guys, I'm going to go back. I'm going to bring radar Omega to full. Look at this. We've got a tornado. I've got it on 4 screens, 5 screens now. We've got 5 shots of the tornado. Holy crap. There it is. There it is, guys. This is Starship Adventures. My name's Ian, and we are live in North Dakota right now, where we've got a large wedge tornado. Live, we're watching it live on a number of different screens. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. Holy crap. Not only do we have a storm out in the middle of nowhere where it's not hurting anybody right now, but we've got a storm that we got 8 storm chasers on right now, and it's dropping a wedge. Holy crap, look at that thing. The guy left center. He just passed a Stormchaser, and they're both going 100 miles an hour in either direction. I don't know who's right, who's wrong. He's trying to get us down there in front of it. Upper left, he's running along with it right now on an intercept course, it looks like, because the road he's on is going to take him right in front of it. We're going to get some great shots of this. Upper right, you can see the road he's on is about to get crossed. All right, we got our last guy back, so we're back to 8 cams up now. Welcome in, everybody. This is what we do here. Yes, Carl, there is protests going on. They're all peaceful at this time in Los Angeles. I'll go back to the grid as soon as we don't have a tornado nearly on the ground at this point. It's just about to come down to the ground. Remember, there's going to be a different lag of a few seconds on each of these cams. That's a huge couplet, a well-defined couplet right there. I think we're on the ground. It's hard to tell, but I think that's debris and dust that you're seeing. We are on the ground, it looks like. Yeah, we got a tornado on the ground. It's a wedge. Urbana, North Dakota. Urbana, North Dakota, take shelter now that you are next up for this thing and it's on the ground. Holy shit. We've got a large wedge tornado and it's on the ground. That is textbook, ladies and gentlemen. We have a textbook tornado right now. Look at the shots we're getting of this thing. These guys are amazing. Every Stormchaser has a shot of this tornado right now. All 8 of them. From 8 different angles. You're watching this thing live. This is Starship Adventures, guys. Thank you for being here. This is what we do here. God, I wish I was there. Holy shit. Holy shit. I hope nobody's in front of this thing. This thing came down as a wedge. There was no bullshit. They normally rope in and rope out. This thing came in as a wedge. Stay with us, guys. I'm still here. You guys check the stream. Large wedge tornado on the ground. I'm letting my wife and Scuffed Radio and everybody else that I work with know that we've got a large tornado on the ground. Wow. All right, we're starting to get rain wrapped here. The guys are kind of behind it now, and we're starting to get rain wrapped. We're starting to lose our sight of this thing. Also, the sun is getting a little lower in the sky, and we're getting into a sunset phase right now. Holy crap. What a shot, guys. That was an amazing shot. Yeah, the base is almost as big as the top. It's basically turned into a column. It's just an amazing huge tornado. I'm a little concerned for the guy in the center left. This thing's going to cross right in front of him. He's getting pretty close. The good thing about tornadoes this size, they don't squirrel around and kill people. You can kind of see where they're going to go. When they get this big, they're like a bull in a china shop. They just walk right through the middle of everything. Those little finger tornadoes, they can like spin around and come over and take out this barn and leave the house and take out that Stormchaser and not this Stormchaser. These big wedge tornadoes, they don't steer very quickly, so they basically just lumber along as they go. All right, guys, we've lost it in the rain. I don't think anybody has eyes on this thing anymore, but they're going to try to get up ahead of it. I'm going to go back and clip that out and save that and put that up as a little featurette, because that was exciting right there. Holy crap, that was awesome. Hey, there's VTX. Oh man, VTX, you guys go back about 8 minutes, okay, on the video. I go back about 8 minutes and you will see the most amazing genesis of a wedge tornado drop out of the sky, and all 8 Stormchasers had 8 different views of it. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, if you guys missed it, I give you permission. Go back. I leave my DVR function on always. And you guys can just run it back for a minute and take a quick peek. If you've missed it, go back like 6 or 7 minutes, and you will hear me yelling about a wedge tornado. It's right there. This was an absolutely amazing storm chase tonight, guys. This is what I call virtual storm chasing. We all can't be out there. If we were, there'd be a traffic jam at every intersection. There's already way too many storm chasers out there. You'll see what I mean. But all these cars you see turning around, they're all storm chasers. They're all storm chasers. And they're all passing each other and flying past each other. They work together usually, but you know, it's not the best. There's a lot of them out there. So what we do is the rest of us, we virtually storm chase. We come in like this, and we storm chase together. Look at all these storm chasers. Yeah, see, his camera's gone down. But I'm showing 10 storm chasers now. Who do I not have? I don't believe I have him. I'm gonna put him here for a minute. We'll see what he comes up with. This guy, I think he's out. I'm gonna move him down off the screen, and I'll keep an eye on him and see if he comes back on. I want to keep everything live here. We caught last night on last night's show. We caught an amazing hailstorm right as it was happening. That was right. That was awesome. Yeah, the wind speed is something else. Why does no one know how to drive in North Dakota? They're all storm chasers. None of them are actually from North Dakota. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Yeah, it was a wedge. You guys definitely have to go back. I'm going to go in tomorrow. I will go clip that piece out and save it as a video. I might even put some like exciting music behind it or something, because that was really cool. I mean, that was like way cool. Hue. Who do we got here? Who is this? Yeah, I got him already. They're running together. There's literally 10 storm chasers on this storm. 10. I don't think I've ever had 10 storm chasers on one storm that are on our network here. That's crazy, really. Yeah, this one's that other guy went down and he never came back up. I hope he's all right. Usually we have cell phone problems when they're out in these remote areas, but I guess the coverage out here is pretty good. Also, storm chasers are starting to put a lot more emphasis on transmitting and receiving equipment so they can get to further away cell towers and things like that. Used to be they just put their phone on their dash and that was it, but it's become a lot more sophisticated than that for a lot of them. There's still some that just throw it on the dashboard, and that's fine as long as it gets you by, but there's some that are really putting a lot of time into it. Yep, we have 10 storm chasers, 9 of them putting out active videos, it says. And I still have one of these that I don't even know who it is. I don't even... Is it this guy? Oh, I think that's the one I don't have right there. Cheat a little bit. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here, and we'll put we'll squeeze an extra one in here. I haven't normally don't even run this many storm chasers at one time, but We've got them all up right now. That was amazing a few minutes ago. I got to tell you, that was absolutely amazing. Was not expecting that. And this guy's down, so I'm just going to get rid of him. We'll watch for his circle. The little circles, when they turn orange, like this guy here, that's the guy with the camera that's down. If they turn orange, the camera's down. If they're green, the camera's up. This is on Radar Omega. If you guys don't have Radar Omega, there's a free version for your phone. If you want to use it for broadcasting or have it on your computer, it's not much. I think it's like $6 a month or something. It's really reasonable if you're going to use it. Of course, if you just come here every night, I can just put it on here for you. All right, our upper right Stormchasers are starting to get out in front of this thing again a little bit. We don't know what happened to that wedge. It came down, it existed for a little while, and then it went away. So we don't really know what happened to it. The couplet, there's another one down here. There's actually two couplets we're watching here. But the main couplet that produced the tornado is this one here. And it is not showing near as much strength as it had just about 20 minutes ago. It was really big and really strong 20 minutes ago. Now, still a very impressive couplet, but not near as big as it was. That was impressive, man. You don't normally see a wedge just drop out of the sky like that. I mean, that's like hell on earth. Just thank God, I think it dropped into an area where there was nothing. Maybe a few cows and some fence posts got knocked down. Hopefully, nobody got hurt from this thing. And I am going to continue to check my news sources and see if we've got anything that comes up. Let me try something here. Do they got TVs in North Dakota? I'm just kidding. Let's see, this is out of Fargo. WDAY, Fargo. Yeah, as is usual with small markets, there's not much here. Yeah, there's nothing going on. It amazes me that, I mean, I'm in a middle market here. We're not in a big market, but we're in a nice size middle market here. And I've always been surprised how much our media here does do. I mean, they don't all have choppers and stuff like they do in the big cities, but they do spend a lot of money on stuff. Yeah, that's old. Okay, so let's not worry about that. Let me see what county is this in. This is an observed tornado. Damage threat considerable. This is going to be in Barnes, North Dakota. Barnes County, North Dakota. So let me go see if Barnes County, North Dakota has any scanner stuff. Add feeds. United States. North Dakota. Barnes County. Let's try that. My memory ain't that good, guys. Sorry. Barnes County. Nope. All we have there is NOAA Weather Radio, and that's it.
Now 5 p.m. A severe thunderstorm was located near Clifford, or 34 miles northeast of Valley City, moving north at 25 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Mayville, Hatton, Portland, Galesburg, Clifford, Colgate, and Roseville. This includes Interstate 29 near mile marker 110. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 3 a.m.
All right, so there's your NOAA weather radio out of Fargo. I still have them other two departments on, but it's kind of moved past them. They were back here in Jamestown. That is so many storm chasers. I think we just picked up another one. Okay, all right, we've got another tornado. We've got another tornado. Upper right 2 screens. It's dropping down. These are live. They don't spoof on here. Not usually anyway. I can't say I've never seen it. Every now and then they'll play back a few minutes of something for everybody, but for the most part they don't spoof on here. Oh boy. Let's see if I can figure out who this is and who's got what here. Is it these guys back here? There it is, guys. It's dropping a wedge again. Got 2 different shots of it there, it looks like. And I see a feature on the center right, bottom center right. There looks like a small rolling feature up in the clouds on that one too that's different. You can see it on 2 different shots. Look at the third one down on the right, and also center bottom right. You can see that rope. Look at that. There's a rope tornado. We've got 2 different tornadoes. I got a wedge on the upper 2 rights. I've got a rope tornado down here on these other 2. We have 2 different situations going on right now. See if I can figure out. Look at this. It's roping. We've got 2 different tornadoes, guys. Glass, that's funny. Let's see. Okay, there we go. We've got another shot of our wedge. We've got 4 shots of the wedge right now. And we've got 2 shots of this thing roping right now. So we've got 2 different, 2 completely different tornadic features going on right now in this storm. Holy crap. Some amazing shots here, guys. Alright, I hate to do this, but I need room. I'm going to move some stuff around so we can get more on the screen. So just bear with me for a second here while I move a few things around so we can get everything we want to see on the screen at one time. There we go. Alright, there we go. All right, that rope feature is gone away now, but we're still looking at that wedge. That's not really a wedge. It's kind of trying to wedge. It's it pokes down and goes back up and pokes down. I cannot believe how many storm chasers we have on this storm. This is really cool. Oh man. Something you don't want to look out your window and see right there. Oh, there's that rope feature back again. And it looks like that could be on the ground. Those will do damage. Those will do damage. They're not obviously nothing like a wedge, but wow, that's amazing. These guys are holding these shots for us. It's amazing. There's that rope effect. Look at that thing. He just got a close-up of it. You could really see it. That's an amazing feature. Very long rope tornado coming out of the side of the storm. Crazy. Wow. All right, well, this thing really wants to be a big tornado, doesn't it? It wants to. That's probably on the ground a little bit. I can't really see it, but a lot of times you'll see the little kick up down at the bottom. It's trying to reach down and touch the ground with its little finger there that just went away. Wow. Another good shot coming in, lower center left. And now lower left has now got it too from a distance. So here we go. We're getting close to having everybody back on it again. Amazing. Some amazing shots coming in from our Stormchasers. That's amazing. Wow. There we go. Look at that. It's on the ground. It's no longer a wedge. It's no longer a wedge. It's just your typical tornado now. More of a typical like an F1 or 2 type tornado. Wow. All the different shots at the same time. That's just amazing in itself that we're getting all these amazing different shots of this same tornado. I mean, just the value of this to research alone is amazing. Because we have all the radars to analyze, all the shots. You could put all this back together in a composite and line up all the times. I mean, there's so many things you could do with this. And it's just absolutely amazing to me that we're getting to see this in such a great way. Wow, that's just awesome. All right, let me see if this we got a new county here. Let me see if we get a new county that I can look for scanners in. Barnes County. I think I've already looked for Barnes County. I think I did. I think I did. Yeah, that's that NOAA feed I have. That's all I got there. Let's look. There, look at it's roping out, guys. Look at that. That's what they call roping out. It just kind of disappears from the bottom up and it ropes away. And there it goes. Just as quick as it comes, it goes. Victor, when the sun goes down, you lose radiational heating, and generally speaking, storms will begin to weaken going into the overnight period. Storms tend to ramp up through the day and then ramp down through the night. Storms over land tend to do that. And so as we go into the dark period here, I expect these storms to not be as strong. Now, there is always exceptions to this. We've had some 2 a.m. in the morning tornadoes that have killed a bunch of people. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but generally speaking, storms will ramp down after it gets dark. They'll start to ramp down pretty rapidly once it gets dark, which is a good thing. All right. Yep, that was it. It roped out. So now that the guys saw it rope out, now what they're doing is they're going to try to get back into position now, so that if it starts to drop again, they'll be able to be out in front of it and catch it again. So now they're moving. They're on the move. They're going east. I'm surprised I don't see any of them on the interstate. Well, there might be one or two, one there on the interstate anyway, center left. But there is that Interstate 94, but that's going to take them slowly away from the storm. They really, of course, NOAA's showing this thing moving almost due east. Let's take a look at it on the motion. Yeah, you know, it is holding almost an easterly course. If that's the case, then they have the interstate. They could literally just head towards Valley City on 94, which is what it looks like a couple of them are doing here. They're getting on the interstate. These guys up here can stay on this road, but they're going to want to be up towards Valley City as soon as they can get there. The storm's actually passing them. They're slowly losing it with the storm right now. So let's see what this looks like on high-res reflectivity. There you go. We got a significant amount of storms here. Another one down here that could be tornadic, but we have nobody on it, so we have no idea. There's no cameras out ahead of it that I have here, so we really don't know what we're going to be dealing with. Now that it's starting to get dark there, we're going to start seeing really ominous, dark-looking skies. Just remember, part of that's just because of the light angles. Light angles get really sharp towards dark, and you'll get darker darks and lighter lights in the clouds, and it really kind of changes your perspective on things. You'll think, oh my God, look, that's the worst storm that's ever happened. And it's just simply a light. The light's different because of the sunset going on. All right, so we're still on this one here. You can see our J hook. You can see it there. I'll go back to velocity. Oh, look at one other thing here. This is the coalition coefficient. I don't look at that all that much, but you can normally see debris balls in this. And yeah, I mean, there could be a little debris right there, but this will reflect debris back, and you can kind of look for it. I don't see a lot there. There could be, but it could be. And then the reflective, and then we're going to go ahead and go back to velocity. The velocity tells all the story when it comes to tornadoes. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. Hello, Simplex Radio, another one of the stations here at Starship Studios. We really appreciate you coming in tonight, buddy. I do appreciate that. There we go. I had not made you a moderator yet, buddy, so I did that for you. All right, let's see here. All right. Oh, and Simplex Radio, later on, run this back about 30 minutes, and you will see a huge wedge tornado form on all 8 screens at the same time. It's probably the coolest thing I've broadcast yet. It was awesome. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, what it is, tornadoes, they're wusses, and they want something really easy. And so what they do is they'll fly around in the cloud until they see a trailer park, and they're like, "Oh, trailer park, let's go get it." Yep, that's what they do. Well, that was awesome, guys. Let's go back to the grid. Now that we don't have any spikes on there. Let's go back to the grid and see if our other channels are still live out there. Yep, I'm still showing something going on in Los Angeles, and we have daybreak in Tel Aviv, daybreak in Jerusalem, and they have now made it through another long night in the Middle East, unfortunately. But it looks like I don't see any fires burning. From what we've been hearing, the missile defense system has been doing a relatively good job. There has been a few that have gotten through, and most have not. Iran's trying to reposition their trucks. They only have like 100 of these trucks, and they position them, and then they all fire at the same time, because what they're trying to do is overwhelm the Iron Dome system, and then the moment they fire, the IDF knows where they're at, so they're firing on the position. So the moment they fire, they have to start the truck up and drive away. And if the truck don't start, they jump in another truck and drive away, because whatever's left at that launch site is probably going to get obliterated. So it's basically they go somewhere, they set up, they fire their missiles, and then they run like hell. And that's why we see these missile attacks that have several hours between attacks. That's why. See how ominous and mean those storms look? Wow. That's mean looking. But it's just simply because the sun's setting. Look at all the storm chasers. I think they should have the yellow lights. I like the yellow lights. Most of the cops don't mind them having the yellow lights. Most states will let you run green and clear, but I think the yellow is fine. I think the yellow works great, just to let other people know that you're on duty, you're busy, you're working, you're a photographer, and you're out taking pictures of the tornado. Look at that rotating mess right there. Wow. Look at all the storm chasers, all the yellow lights. Oh, I love it. And even the ones without yellow lights, they're storm chasers too. Look at him. He's got all his shit on the roof. These guys are all on that interstate. They're trying to get out in front of this thing again. Getting some great shots of it, though, with, like I said, with the sharp lighting angles. It's really cool. We got a convention going down the highway here. You guys see who we're looking at here? Look at this. Here's the 4 guys we're looking at that are all following each other down the highway. That's them right there. And they're literally right there at the rotation. It's right in front of them. It's right in front of them. Is that a spike coming down, or am I seeing a spike? No, maybe not. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for being here tonight. We're going to continue on for a little while longer while we still got daylight here. And then I will be calling it. I have work to do tonight before I can go to bed. I still have 2 weekend shows to produce and put in the computer tonight before I go to bed. I produce some of that paid programming on the weekends, as well as producing the afternoon drive show on our channel, and producing here on YouTube. I do a lot of different things. And look at the wind, lower center left. He has a wind coming up from behind him at like 40 miles an hour. I mean, that is just a crazy wind whip in there. Look at that. Look at the inflow coming into that storm. It's just amazing. You see it up there? Oh my God. There is 40, 45 mile an hour crosswinds right now on that road. But anyway, this is Starship Adventures, and this is what we do. We do live broadcasting. We also cover ham radio and science and radio propagation and space weather and all kinds of different stuff like that, plus live events. I do all that kind of stuff. But this is what we do a lot of right here, just live coverage of things. We did live coverage all through the civil unrest that we just had. We were on every night with that, and we just kind of kept it going. We're still coming on every night and just doing this. I've had a lot of people write me and say, please just keep doing that. We like it. We like to have somewhere to go in the evening and hang out and watch the sights and sounds of Earth. And that's where I got the idea of the sights and sounds of Earth, because no one calls anything that. It sounds weird. So I figured, Starship Adventures. Nobody calls anything that either. It's weird. So I'm kind of just doing it like that. All right, looks like we're at Love's gas station. Boy, those Love stores are everywhere. One thing about Love's, man, the truckers love Love's because they've got whole sections of the store that are just for truckers. They got showers. They got all kinds of different things there that make a trucker's life a little bit easier on the road. Most of your truck stops have that. Whether you're talking about Pilots or Stuckies or whatever, most of your truck stops have that kind of stuff. But Love's and Pilot are really becoming the two big ones right now, at least in my part of the world. Wow, some great shots of this storm. And I'm looking lower center left. Suspiciously, I'm looking at that spike there. I'm just watching. That looks a little suspicious there. This thing has produced a tornado, and it has the energy right now, well enough energy, and a couplet. It's got everything it needs to form another tornado any second now. But we are running out of daylight. That's the only thing. We are literally going to run out of daylight. We got ourselves a convoy. Hey Heath, what's going on up there, man? I bet it's a lot cooler up there than it was here. We were 95 today with a heat index of 112. I don't know why I sounded like Casey Kasem there. It's a little story from a girl in Southern California. Let's see here. Oh yeah, look at that. I think we might have one, guys. I think we might have one center left, bottom center left, and bottom center right. There it is. I think we got us one. Doo doo doo. Wow. That storm's getting intense. Notice the lightning. There's a sudden uptick in lightning over the last 3 minutes. The lightning has just tripled. And that is a very big indication that you've got a strengthening storm. This thing is literally running right down Interstate 94 from west to east. And you can see here a couplet. We've got the white color showing back up again. Right up here, we've got some yellow. This is a very strong wind pattern right here, and everything that's necessary for a tornado. So I think we've got one forming. It's getting rain wrapped. They're trying to get around this thing so we can get a better shot of it. That is a mean storm. Like I said, they look a lot meaner right at dark like this. All right, and we're also continuing to watch in California. I'm pretty sure, again, those are live. What we're seeing in California now is the beginnings of sunset. California's sunset tonight is going to be about 8:08, I believe, and right now it is 7:39. So we've got about 30 minutes to sunset in California, and you can see that on the videos we're looking at. We do have a low light angle, and I do believe those are all live. And we've got daybreak in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, and I believe those are live because they're all showing what they should be showing right now. So I think everything you're seeing on the screen is actually live right now. I try so hard to keep it that way. Look at that couplet right there. I mean, that's there's your couplet, and here's your guys right out near this thing. It's rain wrapped. That's the problem. It may still exist, but it's rain wrapped. And as it gets darker, you'll have to start watching the lightning flashes to see. You'll have to see the tornado in the lightning flashes. It gets a lot more difficult. What's a tornado's favorite game? Victor asks, and of course the answer is Twister. That's awesome, Victor. That's funny, you know. I don't know if I've ever heard that, and it's kind of a very simple joke, but I don't know if I've ever actually heard that one. Man, I can't wait to get back to the mountains. I'll be up there 3rd week in October, 1st week in December. Let's see what we got going on here. We got 3 tornado warnings, North Dakota, all of them. Let's check these other ones out. We got one right here just below the other one. There's another one down here. And that one's moving off to the east as well. We have no storm chasers on that one. And then we've got this one up here as well. Wow, some really strong winds right there. Not a well-defined couplet, but we do have some very strong winds there. And obviously the energy exists, so they have issued on that. So we're looking at 3 tornado warnings right now, including specifically the one here that we're watching with all of our storm chasers right now. And let me switch the radar back up here to the Mayville radar. That one seems to be pretty good. The couplet is actually weakening over the last 2 frames. We're actually seeing a weakening trend right now in this particular couplet. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures, and you are watching live virtual storm chasing coverage and live coverage of what's going on around right now. We've got live shots from Los Angeles. We've got live shots from Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, and we got live shots from North Dakota where we're chasing a hurricane, chasing a tornado, and we've had some great shots earlier of the tornado. It was really cool. At one point, we had 8 storm chasers all looking at the same Wedge tornado that was about to come down to the ground. It was amazing, and I'm going to talk more about that. I'm going to have a video tomorrow I'm going to make for it as well, so you guys can go back and watch a shorter version of it. But I was absolutely amazed that we were able to capture that the way that we did. That was just absolutely amazing. But anyway, I'm live at Starship Studios in Southwest Florida, where we had some pretty good storms move through hours ago, and right now it is quiet. We've got a few storms way down in South Florida in the Everglades, and that's about it. Let's see.
Higher call fire call, fire call. This is a page for the Woodworth Fire Department to let you know of a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30. Hazards include 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Areas impacted are Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, and Woodworth. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30. Hazards include 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Locations impacted are Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, and Woodworth. Please acknowledge page.
Wow, that wrapped up pretty quick there. I would be concerned about this one. This is probably going to put something down here. That really wrapped up quick like that right there. So yeah, we've got one there too. That warning you just heard was for this area between Jamestown and Steele. This area right here, because they're about to get this big gust front right here that's going to come through. Probably bring 60, 70 mile an hour winds with it when it does. You can see there it coming up to Steele. And that area we're talking about is this weird color county right here. It's the left half of that county, so it's right here where she was talking about.
Fire call, fire call, fire call. This is a page for Streeter Fire to make you aware of a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30. Hazards include 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Locations impacted are Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, Woodworth. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30 p.m. Hazards include 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. Locations impacted are Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, Woodworth. Please acknowledge page.
This is moving due east, right down Interstate 94. So this has been on Interstate 94 now for a while. It's literally just running right down the highway. Now the highway's kind of jogged north just a little bit here, and it's jogged south a little bit. So it's going to come off the highway now and actually run south of it for a little while.
Pingree Fire Department from Law Enforcement Center. Be aware of a severe thunderstorm warning from National Weather Service for western Stutsman County until 10:30 p.m. Central. At 9:35 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles southeast of Reagan to 7 miles south of Sterling to 6 miles southeast of Hazleton, moving east at 60 miles per hour. These are destructive storms. Hazards include 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely. Locations impacted will include Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, and Woodworth. Remain alert for possible tornadoes. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe.
Wow, it is really coming in on some of these guys now. We got 3 guys right here, and the rotation just went right over the top of them. Yeah, I believe in the First Amendment, but I don't think kids need to be at protests. I think that's a little much.
Fire call, fire call, fire call. This is a page for Cleveland Fire Department to let you know of a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30 p.m. Hazards include 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Locations impacted are going to be Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, and Woodworth. Again, this is a page to let you know about a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30 p.m. Hazards include 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. Locations impacted include Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, and Woodworth. Please acknowledge page.
All right. I'll admit to you guys, I was only going to come on here for about an hour tonight, but this got exciting, didn't it? Holy crap.
Fire call, fire call, fire call. This is a page for Medina Fire to inform you of a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30 p.m.
I figured she'd just tone everybody out at one time. It'd be a little easier.
Hail. Locations impacted include Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, and Woodworth. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for western Stutsman County until 10:30 p.m. Hazards include 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Locations impacted are Medina, Streeter, Cleveland, and Woodworth. Please acknowledge page.
Yeah, I'm definitely making a clip out of that tomorrow. Yeah, Junior, I love a good storm. When I ride them out here, I like to go outside and watch it till the last second, and then I run inside here while it's hitting, and I watch it through the windows, and I watch it on about 19 different screens in here. I love weather. I can't get enough of it. Even Hurricane Ian, as much as it destroyed the home that I was born in, well, we fixed it back, but it was in pretty bad shape, and it's threatened the lives of my family and everything else. And it was a terrible time. The power was out for 13 days. It was just terrible, just a terrible time, and yet I enjoyed every thorough minute of it, going through it. I don't know why. I just love it. 100-mile-an-hour winds, man. It was all good until my neighbor's roof come off and came across the yard and smashed into one of my transmitter antennas and knocked it up against the shed, knocked everything off the shelves in here in the shed. I call it the shed. We called it the shed. It's the studio now. We've built it all out inside here. We started with a building, basically the parts of a shed, 14 by 14 foot shed. And we closed it in and we finished it all out with double insulation drywall, and we then built all the counters in here and everything and painted everything black. And it's a TV studio now. It works great. I got 4 workstations. We all have our own workstation. There's cameras that move around and go different ways, and you'll get to see all that soon. I'm going to, in the next few days, I'll be able to show you the other side of the studio. I want you guys to see that this is a whole thing. I'm working on a fisheye lens that's going to go on an old webcam that I have, and I'm going to put it in the back so you'll be able to see like the whole studio on a big fisheye lens. It'll be pretty cool. It'll be like a wide angle view of the whole studio, and I can go to that to show you guys what it looks like in here when everything is all fully functional. All right, yep, that couplet is starting to fade a little bit there, as happens a lot of times as it gets dark. And our ability to see the tornado has diminished greatly. So, all right, guys, we're at the last part here. I'm going to go through and just run through some news real quick, and then I'm going to ask you guys if you would put in any questions that you have or anything else. Junior, I lost power out, shingles lost, and trees down during Hurricane Ivan. I'm in the Panhandle, but I loved it. Yeah, I remember Ivan. We didn't get much from that one, but I do remember that one. I actually was with emergency management down here for many years. I was my fire department's emergency manager, if that makes sense. And I worked with the county's emergency management to make sure that my fire department was prepared. And each fire department had an emergency manager that did that. And I was also the emergency comms person, did all the radio programming and ordering and all that. And that's why today I'm a ham radio geek that puts up towers now. Okay, so let's see what we got here. The escalating conflict, we're still getting more information in about that a missile strike on that hospital in Iran. And they are working to. Did I go too far? Hold on. I did. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Israel-Iran war intensifies today with strikes on nuclear sites. Israel conducted multiple strikes on Iranian nuclear sites, including the Arak heavy air water reactor on June 20th. That's today, escalating the week-long conflict. The Iranian missile struck a hospital yesterday in Beersheba, Israel, causing no serious injuries but prompting a vow of retaliation from Israel's defense minister. Let's see. Hurricane Eric devastates Mexico's Oaxaca coast. And I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Hurricane Eric, downgraded to a Cat 3, caused widespread flooding and power outages in Oaxaca, Mexico on earlier today. Authorities ordered evacuations and in both there and in Guerrero, where thousands were displaced due to the storm surges and heavy rainfall. Mexico's National Hurricane Center warned of continued life-threatening conditions through the weekend. Local reports indicate damaged infrastructure is slowing relief efforts, with international aid being mobilized and heading that way. The problem is, in a lot of these places in Mexico, the entire village or the entire little town is serviced by one bridge. And when it washes out, that's it. It becomes a humanitarian crisis, just like that. Israeli, let's see here. Europe, Iran talks in Geneva yield no progress. Whatever. You know, sometimes this stuff just is really, I just really start to wonder what's the deal with this. They're always talking and nothing ever gets decided on. The truth is, the Earth is not in a position right now for global thinking. And there's just too many people trying to do global think right now. And it's just, I don't know, there's just some real issues there. But let's not get into that. South Korea elects Lee Mae-myung as president. South Korea voters elected Lee of the Democratic Party as president on June 20th with 79% of turnout, signaling a mandate for change. Let's see here. UK is now facing the first heat wave of the summer of 2025. British health officials issued warnings today as the UK experienced its first heat wave of the year. Temperatures reached a record high for June, prompting precautions for outdoor activities and vulnerable populations. The heat wave is linked to broader climate change trends. Okay, whatever. We are trending a little warmer, but that trend has been arrested over the last few years. And I think that over the next 5 or 10 years, it'll be very easy to see that we're trending colder again. There is these cycles that all match up, and we are seeing the end of a warming cycle right now. That's the truth. How much man has anything to do with these cycles? Nobody knows. Okay. Okay, I don't even know what's going on with that. Let's see, don't care there. British lawmakers have backed assisted dying legislation. Earlier today, British lawmakers prepared legislation to legalize assisted dying for adults with 6 months or less to live. The bill marks the UK's biggest social policy shift in a generation, sparking intense public debate. Supporters argue it grants dignity to the terminally ill, while opponents warn of ethical risks. The legalization aligns the UK with countries like Canada and Belgium, with a vote expected soon. You know, that's becoming more and more accepted here. There's a number of states now, and even here, we have hospice here. And yeah, they can't outright put you down, but trust me, they can put you out, and we can keep you out of pain until the time comes. There's a lot that's being done now to help our loved ones. I think making someone live when they don't want to live anymore, and their loved ones don't want them to live anymore, because of the immense pain that they're in every minute of every day. My father went through this. My father went through this. He begged us to kill him. He wanted to die. He was done. He was ate up with cancer inside. He was in pain. He wanted to die. He told us this. And they were able to help us put him to a point where he wasn't in that misery anymore. And he passed away quietly not long after. Is it euthanasia? Not really. But it serves the same purpose. It gets them completely out of their pain, and then it gets them completely out of the situation. And that's what needs to happen. I completely believe in euthanasia. It's not just a bunch of kids on the other side of the world anymore. We can do this now. I really believe we can. I believe that there needs to be a process. I think that if you're 23 and you're depressed, you can't just whack yourself. Okay? I'm talking terminally ill people. People who are going to die. No doubt, gonna die. Okay? You choose when. You get to absolutely choose when. You should have complete control over your dying. That should be your choice and no one else's. And you should be able to give that choice to your loved ones when your mind starts to go. That's called a power of attorney. And then your loved ones should be able to euthanize you when the time is appropriate, when you decide it. I just think it's so important. My dad was ate up with cancer. It was so bad. And it was so sad because he was 67, I think. He still had years to go, you know? And by the time they found it, it was all over inside. It was everywhere. He was a smoker. And for many years ago. And that was what it took. And I can't say enough good about the hospice here. We have what they call Hope Hospice here. And probably the best experience they make the very best out of the very worst experience. And that's how I put it. I told the man that day, and he said, I'm going to use that. And I said, you can have it. Taiwan and China, war games, all that's a touch and go out there. You know, you don't consider that when you think about North and South Korea. You think about Ukraine and Russia. You think about Iran and Israel. You think of Palestine and Israel. You think of all these places. But one place that we kind of forget about sometimes is China's eventually going to go into Taiwan. You know it's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen when that happens. But China is going to go in. They're going to. There's no way that China's not going to go into Taiwan. I'm telling you. Let's see what's going on around the country. Trump has maintained National Guard control in Los Angeles. I'll never understand regardless of how you feel about the protests, and I'm not going to get into how I feel about the protests, okay? Whether you're for it or against it, whether you think we should round them all up and kick them all out, or whether you think we should let them all stay. I don't care about none of that, okay? But what it comes down to, when you have rioting and you have people burning cars in the streets and you have cops that are injured, you have to call in enough standby personnel. I'm retired from the fire service. I was a cop also. I can speak to these things. And I'm telling you, you have to have enough help in place so that if something happens, if that riot suddenly gets worse, you can't call in National Guard troops in 1 hour. They don't have blue lights and sirens. It doesn't work that way. It takes several days to mobilize, and they mobilize in groups, in platoons. It's different. It's not like an emergency response like the police. They can show 100 guys with batons and helmets and vests, and they can put them together in about an hour. The military can't do that. The Marines that they brought out there, or wasn't Marines. It was whatever it was. The other group they brought out there. It took a while to get them out there. They had to be trained and ready and set up and all that. So it takes time. Because of that, that's why it's necessary. Now, I know if you hate Trump, you're not going to like the fact that he sent the National Guard troops. If you like Trump, You're going to love the fact that he said that. Let's leave all that aside. Again, leave the politics aside. From a first responder's point of view, you have to be ready for what could happen. And when you have thousands and expecting tens of thousands of people to show up and protest in the street, you have to be prepared for that. And the only way to be fully prepared for that is to have 4,000 or 5,000 people sleeping at a stadium or something where they can be mobilized quickly. They're already dressed. They've already got their vehicles. They've already got whatever their weapons are going to carry. Most of the time when they deploy domestically, they'll just carry sidearms. When that happens, you have to have enough people. And remember, they don't send the troops in first. In fact, they send the troops in last. The troops are designed to be a backup for the cops. And as the first line cops move out to the street, the second line cops move out to the edge of the road, the third line, the fourth line, and then once arrests are being made, that's when these military people are used. Just bring these people down here, drive this bus, move this over here, bring these people in, do the paperwork, book this, book that. That's generally what they're used for, because they're not cops. We know they're not cops. But they're doing all those jobs so that all the cops that are LA cops, that know the city, that do a good job, those guys can then be available if we have another riot over here or another situation over here. That's why. It has nothing to do with politics, really. It really has to do with the stuff needs to be in place ahead of time, okay? And so that's what it has to do with. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Great footage. Thanks. Why should it? Most memorable rescue as a firefighter. Well, I was one of the first in my county to use the semi-automatic external defibrillator. We were basic life support. I was an EMT. And generally speaking, we would have to wait another 10 or 12 minutes for an ambulance to get there. They would get out with their Life Pack 10 and they would run in and they would put the things on and they would shock the guy and try to get him back to life. But another 10 or 12 minutes, he's dead. So they put these things in our trucks and we trained to use them. And I became the guy at my department. I was the training officer. So I became the trainer guy and I taught people how to use it. And I happened to be one of, if not the first in Lee County as an EMT to actually deliver a life-saving shock to somebody using a semi-automatic external defibrillator. And I thought that was the coolest thing because I was the guy that went to the training and got to train everybody. So from that point on, I got to train people from a standpoint of someone who's actually saved somebody's life with that box, you know. I've had some interesting stuff. I never, in my 17 years in the fire service, I was involved in many, many rescues. But I never actually did the traditional crawl into the house at 2 a.m. and drag the kid out of bed. I mean, I never did the traditional rescue. I got trapped in a house fire one time, and I was able to finally find a window and smash my way out, and the guys were able to reach in and grab me out. I was I was an extrication specialist, and the Jaws of Life was my tool. And me and about 3 other guys there at the station became very good at the Jaws of Life. And we were called all over the place to use that tool. And we got very good at it. I saved a lot of lives with the Jaws of Life. I was in a district where we had more dangerous highway than we did residences. I mean, we were kind of out away from town. And so I saved a lot more lives in car wrecks than I did in fires. Brush fires too. Man, we ran a lot of brush fires. Oh my God. Ran a lot of brush fires in my days. And I ran a few really, really bad structure fires too. And luckily we all made it in and we all made it out. So I had no firefighters killed or injured severely while I was the 17 years I was at that department. And I take pride in that. We had only lost one firefighter. To this day, that fire station has only lost one firefighter. His name was Abe Whitten. And I know because the 2 years I was chief of the department, I actually went in my Class A uniform with my white gloves on, And I brought Abe's wife to the firefighter memorial the 2 years I was chief. And I sat with her, and we would stand and we would go and we would receive the flower for Abe, and we would go lay it on his grave. And that man, 25 years, now 50 years after he died, his widow and the chief of that department still walk up there and put a flower on his grave every year on that day. On that day in October. Anyway, it's an important thing. So yeah, do I miss the fire service? I don't miss it that much. I miss the guys. I miss hanging out at the station at night. I miss the camaraderie. I miss sitting around watching movies with the guys at night. I don't really miss the sirens as much as I thought I would. I don't miss the hoses in the water. I certainly don't miss the blood and the guts. I don't miss the death and the destruction at all. As a matter of fact, now when I pass a wreck, I don't even look sometimes. I don't even care. I don't want to see it. I've just gotten to the point where that's like another time in my life. It's another, I used to pull up on wrecks in the middle of the night, and I'd walk up there and the guy's head's gone. I mean, you never knew what you were going to find in the middle of the night. It's just, I'm just glad that's over, dude. I'm just glad that's over. And I'm glad I did it. I don't regret it. I was a cop for a while, part-time. I'm glad I did that. I was an emergency manager for a while. I dispatched for 911 and did emergency medical dispatch. I did a lot of different things. I was in the first responding convoy that went to Hurricane Andrew down to Florida City after Hurricane Andrew. I heard the calm one night. Until you hear the calm. Just before daybreak, we stopped what we were doing, trying to clear the road to get to somewhere. And we were on Chrome, a 997 down near Homestead. And we're trying to get to Florida City. Nobody had heard from Florida City. During the storm, we had lost contact with Florida City Police, Florida City Fire. We lost contact with their city hall. We lost contact with everything about that city. No phone, no light, no motor car. And so we were trying our convoy of communications, buses, fire engines, ambulances, police cars. We sent everything, all coming from Lee County, Florida, to help South Dade County. And we were responding, and we get down there, and we're trying to get in, we're trying to get in. And would you believe, at some point, the last chainsaw shut down, and we had shut all the trucks down. And I'm sitting there, and when that last chainsaw shut off, I had never heard that before in my life. It was a silence that I had never heard before. There was no birds. There was no bugs. There was nothing. There was nothing left. There was nothing left down there in that area. A Category 5 had gone through there. 175 mile an hour winds. The buildings were knocked down. The transmitter towers were knocked down. And I'm standing there, and when that last motor shut off, we realized that there was an eerie silence that you never hear. It was like being in a soundproof room almost. It was spooky. And there was this weird energy in the air. It was crazy. I don't know how to explain it. It was one of the most eerie things I've ever felt in my life. We were there, and it was literally like being there the morning after Saigon fell. It was literally like being the morning after 9/11, at ground zero. I mean, everything was destroyed. Everything was destroyed, and there was this smell of like wet everything. Wet construction material, the smell of wet dog. There was the smell of everything wet. It was disgusting. I can't explain it. People's brick homes were laying on the ground. I've never seen the destruction like that in my life. It was amazing. And it was devastating. Anyway, so yeah, I've had a lot of experiences. I stayed down there for 2 full weeks, and finally they called me and said, "You got to come home." And I'm like, "Why? I don't want to come home. I want to stay. I'm helping these people. I'm responding with the fire trucks at night. I'm doing emergency management stuff during the day. I set up a logistics center where all the medicine and medical supplies would come in, and we had a stocking system that I set up in a hotel room, and we had all the medicines, and then I set up someone there to check them out to the ambulances when they would come. I mean, you have no idea what it's like to be in a place where there's nothing left. We were using the rooms in the La Quinta Inn as offices and storage rooms and sleeping rooms because it was the only building left intact. It was a fairly new hotel, and it was sitting kind of long ways to the wind. And so the rooms were in decent shape. Many of them we just boarded back up and dried out. Other ones were still dry inside. And a lot of the ACs still worked. So we when they got the big 100 kW generator from the Army hooked up, we were able to dry those rooms out, and we were able to use that as like our center of operations out of the La Quinta Inn. Our EOC was in the lobby of the La Quinta Inn. And I did logistics, I did rescue, I did all kinds of different stuff when I was down there. At one point I was hauling ice around in a pickup truck. I did whatever had to be done. It was crazy. And then years later, the Cat 5 hits here, and it's called Ian, which really sucks because that's my name. But that storm ends up hitting here, and I get to be the one here where my town was devastated. My house where I grew up was completely flooded out, and I tell you, it's different. It puts it all in a completely different perspective. Our home, where the home is sitting, the last time it got a major hurricane was Hurricane Donna in 1960. The next time it got a major hurricane was Ian in, what was it, 2022 or 23, whatever it was. So we're talking literally, what, 40, 45, 50 years? I mean, more, 55 years? It's ridiculous when you think about it. So that's why when people say, I'll never move to Florida because the hurricanes are too bad. Yeah, it's relative, seriously. Wherever you are, there's things that kill you there too. All right, Brian had an NDE. That's interesting. I believe completely in reincarnation and near-death experiences. In fact, I believe if you guys, there is a specific video. If you guys want to believe in reincarnation, if you just want to believe in reincarnation, I'm going to give you a video. You watch the video, and when the video is over, if you don't believe, I'm sorry. There's no hope for you. There's a story about this little boy, and his name is James Lenginger, and he was born. Okay, yeah, here it is, right here. Or wait, is it this one? There's been so many done on this same kid. I'm trying to find the one that I watched, which I think is the better of them. But there's a bunch of them on this kid. He basically, he told his parents early on that he knows about this other life. He called himself James 3. And every time he was given the name James by his parents, but every time he would write James, he would write a 3 after it. And they asked him, why do you put a 3 after James? And he says, because I'm the third. Okay, whatever. He's a kid. Then he starts telling them about, he's dreaming about dying in a plane crash. He's dreaming about going down on a plane. Everything. Long story short, they bring him to an air show. He's naming the planes. He's telling them things about the planes that nobody even knows. It's not even on the placard in front of the plane. He tells them, oh, that's a Corsair. Those, Yeah, the tires used to blow out all the time. The father walks over to the military guy and says, was there something about these planes and the tires? He goes, yeah, man, they used to blow tires all the time. And the father started to believe. And one day he's sitting there, he's got a book open, a World War II. He's looking at the islands, the different islands in the Pacific. And he says, buddy, you know, point out anything you see. The kid finally goes, that's it. That's where I went down. That's where little man went down. The fire was in the front. Little man went down. And they end up finding this kid. They found out who he was. His sister's still alive. His sister gives him back his shit at the end of the show. This is the first time I've ever heard of someone receiving their property back from a previous life. Now, that is extraordinary, okay? So anyway, I watched this video. I bawl all the way through it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a dude. I'll admit I cry, whatever. I admit I am misty all the way through this thing because this confirms everything I need to know about the afterlife. I just put it in there for you. Please watch that. It's 15 minutes. Now, there's longer versions of it, and there's other stories on this kid. But this particular one was the one, I think this is the one that I watched. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, just find one of the specials. 60 Minutes did it. I think 2020 did this kid. Yeah. But anyway, take a look at it. If you're not sure about whether it's real or not, watch it. And if you get emotional, you know it's real. Okay? I'm telling you, you'll know this is real when you watch it. It's too sincere. There's no way this kid's making this shit up. He's freaking 3. All right? And yeah, Brian, you know, I got so sick of that whole crying thing. It's like men are allowed to be emotional, you know. Let's see. I want to see. There was a couple. I missed something up here. In March 23, Brian says in March 23, I had a vision, a dream of nuclear war. I'm not shitting you. Yeah, and that could be from anxiety, or it could be because of some kind of prognostication. You never know. I will tell you, I've dreamed about the most horrible shit happening, and none of it's ever happened. So I've got a joke now. When I dream about something really bad happening, I'm like, well, I know what's not going to happen today. Thanks for the sub. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know where my little sub box didn't show up. Oh, that's why it's way down here. Let me move that back up to the top. I don't know. I've put so much stuff in here recently, the alert box got moved down to the bottom somehow. All right, there we go. But thanks for the sub. I do appreciate it. You know what sucks? I got a lot of subs over the last 2 weeks, and now they're all leaving. I have lost. I went from 1769 to 1715 in 3 days. I'm actually regressing. For 3 days now, I've been regressing on subs, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what. I hear it happens, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Brian, you probably should. I think everyone should document their experience, whether it be a reincarnating experience or an experience with an NDE, a near-death experience, or whatever. I think you should document it when you're ready to document it. A lot of times people want to get older before they do that. You have to get older to realize that everybody has these experiences, and it's not just you. And the few people out there that are going to think you're crazy, screw them anyway, really. I have an open mind, so I try to keep an open mind. Thanks, 707. Appreciate that. Thanks for the like. There, my alert box is working now. So, but I do appreciate it. There we go. That's up to 16 now. I figure if I come on every night, I get a few every night, maybe we can fight this trend a little bit. I don't know. Well, it's not that I went from protest to weather as much as I'm staying with what's going on. The only protest that's active right now, to my knowledge, is Los Angeles, where the sun is setting right now. And I've got a bunch of different screens up right now of those protests that are going on in Los Angeles. I also have 5 screens up from Jerusalem and Tel Aviv in Israel, where we've got missiles falling over and over. And we've got up a bunch of Stormchasers as well, where if you go back about an hour now, you will see we had a tornado, a Wedge tornado, and all 8 of the Stormchasers had a shot of the same tornado from 8 different angles. It's the first time I've ever seen that. I was excited. I was jumping up and down. It was pretty cool. That was like an hour ago on this broadcast. So you can run it back now or run it back later. But I'm going to go clip it because it was really, really cool. They will. Ding, ding, they will. I wait around. I had a manhunt that got me from 5,000 to 7,000. And it's always a big event that a lot of people tune into, and that helps me get go to the next level, basically. In this last event, I grew exponentially during this last event, meaning that I completely doubled everything in this last event. So yeah, that was great. It takes so long. You sit around on YouTube for years with your 10 or 20, 30, 40 friends on here, and you're getting 10 in a night, 15 in at one time. And then all of a sudden, one day you're covering something, and next thing you know, there's 2,500 people watching you, and your subscriber thing is rolling like the odometer in your dad's Buick. And when you can hit that, man, it's rolling. But then what happens is because you got so many subscribers in such a short amount of time, they all start falling off kind of quick. I won't lose that many of them. I'll keep 90% of them, and that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with it. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you like it. I'm going to continue to do weather. I also have the aircraft tracker that you guys have seen, Flight Tracker 24, where I have a paid account there. So anytime there's anything going on, we can put up the aircraft tracker. I do pursuits. I do manhunts. I'm coming on every night now for a couple of hours just to spin with you guys. I'm going to try this for a while. I had people send me emails and say, dude, please just do this every night. It doesn't have to be a riot in LA. Just do it every night. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'll just come on and we'll put up as many live screens as I can find, and then we'll talk about them. And that's what we've been doing, and it's been going very well. The numbers have not been huge, but I'm fine with that. I don't mind working at this level for a while. And then we get another big boost. It's okay. We're going to get there. We've had 773 people come through tonight. We've got 46 active right now watching in the chat. And I appreciate that. Every one of you guys that are in here. And it's doing great right now. And I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to put out a clip from tonight's show when we had that wedge on the ground. It was awesome. It was a little over an hour ago. We had a wedge tornado on the ground, and we had all 8 Stormchasers. I brought the Radar Omega up to full screen, and we were watching it all at one time. It was amazing. Dominic, thanks for being here, buddy. What's odd? You tell me what you think's odd, and I'll try to help you out with it. I'm odd. If that's the case, then yeah, it's probably true. I'm odd. I'm a pretty odd guy, I guess. Yep, I will cover whatever there is to cover. If it's a war, I'll cover the war. If there's live cams, I'm covering it. If I cover ham fests. I mean, I cover everything. It's not just bad things. I'll cover good things too. I cover parades. I cover big ham conventions. I've done a bunch of different things. I even adventure and go to parks and do radio and all kinds of different stuff. So I do a lot of different things on this channel, but live coverage like this is one of the principal things we do here. And I'm glad you guys like it. I love this stuff. I have ADD, and I like to have a lot of things to look at and a rolling chat room to be involved in. And I like to be able to see the guy that's talking. A lot of these channels, you don't ever see the guy that's talking. I can't stand that. And even though I'm really nothing to look at, I would rather have myself on here so you can see that I'm a real person. I'm in a real personally owned television studio here, and we do really well. I'm going to show you the rest of the studio this weekend. I'm going to set up a fisheye lens back here so that you guys will be able to see the entire studio on a big fisheye lens. It's going to be cool. I can't wait to get that set up. All right, so let's just yeah, I've got ADHD bad. ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call it. I'm not all that hyper, but I have restless leg syndrome. And restless leg syndrome, I believe, is intrinsically connected to ADD and ADHD, because like right now my legs are bouncing 100 miles an hour and my nerves are just like this. And it's all related. I know it is. Because when I get like this, my ADD gets really bad and my dyslexia gets bad. It's all related. It's all like a brain thing. Yeah, I love doing it. 707, thank you. I love what I do, and I'll be here quite a bit. You'll see. If you're not into ham radio, you guys maybe go check it out. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. A lot of people don't even know about ham radio. It's such a cool hobby, and it really costs next to nothing to get into. That's it, Brian. You've probably got what I got. Restless leg syndrome, attention deficit disorder. They run together, those two things. I know they do. And I also believe it leads into other things, like when I'm really fatigued and my RLS gets bad, I start transposing numbers and letters. I can't write a phone number down. It gets crazy. I get dyslexic as hell. It's not like that in the morning. I wake up in the morning, my legs are calm, everything's fine. By the time I get in the evening, like right now, and I'm tired and I'm getting ready to go to bed, I haven't ate dinner yet, I'm kind of, I wasn't going to be on this long. Here we are coming up 2.5 hours. When I get like this, it gets rough. I get very unsettled. My stomach gets unsettled, probably from all the bouncing, and yeah, I did the Southwest Florida TechNet, which this channel used to be called the Southwest Florida TechNet. After 2 years, I rebranded this Starship Adventures. Southwest Florida TechNet every Friday night would get together with anywhere from 5 to 25 people on Zoom, and then that was broadcast onto YouTube so that everybody could watch what was going on. And basically, I could never get any traction with it. I never could get a lot of people to watch it, because there's just not that many people that are in the ham radio that really know about it and are into it. So that being the case, yeah, I'm a little weak. I'm definitely going to go eat here in just a second. That being the case, not a lot of people come into my ham radio stuff. So that's why I branched out. I'm doing more than just ham radio. I love doing live coverage. I work in media. I actually produce a talk radio station, talk radio show. I produce the Afternoon Drive show, which is in that time slot is the #1 show in our listening area. And I enjoy that. I love it. But I wanted to do my own thing. And what I do at work is politics. And by the time I get done at work, I don't want to hear about politics. So what I do on my channel here is politically neutral. I try to stay very neutral when I talk about things. I will qualify that I understand this is political, but I'm approaching it from a non-political point of view, and I'll explain that and be very, very particular. You're welcome, Victor. Victor's my #1 fan. He's been with me since day one. And I love that guy. Thank you for being here, Victor. I really do. You know, you really start to appreciate those people that have got you back, and I thank you for that. And I recognize some of the newer people like Ding 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 that's here every night. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that too. All right, guys. Look, I'm gonna call it and go get something to eat. I think the storms have definitely died down. We don't see the harsh couplets that we were seeing before. everything's kind of leveled out. Still a bit of a couplet down here. There's still something to watch there, and these guys have come down here to get out in front of this one, it looks like. All right, well, I'm going to leave that. You guys can pull up Radar Omega if you want to see more of that. Oh. But yeah, check out Radar Omega. And like I do every night, bear with me, I'm sorry, it's a gratuitous plug. I only do it once a night. But here's my wife's channel. We've got the frog cam up over there, and there is about 25 of those monster toads about that big on her camera. That's it right there. You can see those two screens. That's the frog cam, as we call it. And it's toads and cats living together. Toads and cats living together. And but that's there. If you guys could give her a sub, we're trying to get her over 1,000. We're really trying to get her over 1,000. And this week in studio, most of the week, he's not here tonight, but most of the week, I've had Simplex Radio, and he's a family member that is getting his YouTube channel started. And so I'll put his link in there. And finally, my other channel, Starship After Dark. I play the 7.2 over there. For those of you who are in ham radio, it's funny as hell. It's just a radio channel where people do the stupidest shit. And it's a lot of fun. And you can try that. Yes, they're Hulk frogs. Yes, they certainly are. When you see them on there, you'll be like, oh my God, they are so big. And twice a day, I go out there and I clean all those bowls, or my wife if she's here. If not, I do it. She's out of town this week for work. But I go clean all the bowls out, and then I fill them all back up with clean water, and I put down a little bit of cat food. And next thing you know, there's 30 of these huge overweight frogs. Yes, vitamin D. You're not the first person to mention that. I'm copying what you just put and putting it on my notes for the show notes tonight. Thank you very much. I'll check that again. I have actually been told about, and I don't take any kind of standard vitamin, and maybe I should just take a vitamin D supplement. That may be that's something cheap and easy to try, right? Sometimes you just got to try it and see if it works. So that's thanks for the advice on that. Did I put in the last one? Yeah, Starship After Dark. That's the last one. All right. Yeah. There you go. All right, guys. If there's anything else, put it in the chat room real quick. I'm at a 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Thank you for being here, everybody. I need 5,000 UIs. Okay, all the codes going in there. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. All right, everybody. It's been fun tonight. I'm going to put up that clip of the tornadoes. That's going to be my clip for tomorrow. That was so fun. I was really had a fun time with that. It was a great storm chase tonight. Special thanks to all of our storm chasers over on Radar Omega that did a great job tonight. And I'll tell you, I'm going to go ahead and get out of these screens here while I'm finishing up and let you know that Radar Omega is probably the best radar you can get, even if you want to pay a little bit to get the thing. And these guys all cooperate on here and send their images. So let's go through them. Storm Runner Media, currently in Lesbon, North Dakota. He was one of our cams tonight. Another one tonight was Tornado. How do you pronounce that? Pigavy? Tornado Piggery, I don't know what it is. And let's see, another one here. This was Freddie McKinney. There he is. There's the guy. Look at that, man. They're like, hey, that was the best storm ever, dude. That was the best storm ever. There was two different storm chasers there having a quick encounter. And Connor Croft. Connor does this all the time. I show Connor a lot. Connor Croft. Those are our four that are down there. And then up here we had RDD5, Project Weather Eye, projectweatheri.com, and another Project Weather Eye. This is RDD3. These are all guys working in a network out there. Vince W, Project Weather Eye, and he's out on something there. They've got an ambulance. They're probably checking storm damage. A lot of times storm chasers end up becoming first responders. Most of them carry first aid equipment with them. Aaron J. Jack out there tonight with one of those scenes, and also Nathan Moore, Stormchaser IRL. I just wanted to give them all a quick shout out before the end the stream there. Lots of great storm chasers out there tonight in North Dakota. All right, everybody, that's it. Live from Starship Studios in Southwest Florida. This is Starship Adventures. My name's Ian. I bid you a good night. I hope to see you down the log or perhaps on our next adventure, wherever that may be. 7-3s, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you over the weekend.